Kicking off our Sunrise Smart Star with our top headlines, the Afghan man arrested by ICE in Rochester on New Year's Day is pending removal from the U.S. after officials say he violated his legal status. 39-year-old Wahid Allah, also known as Jay Muhammad, entered the States legally in 2004, but in 2009 was convicted of attempted murder and assault for stabbing his 19-year-old sister. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison and 5 years of post-release supervision. His brother confirms to us Muhammad co-owned Jay's Kitchen on Merchants Road and Jay's Halal Cuisine on West Henrietta Road. 4 people are facing serious charges after Rochester police say 2 men were kidnapped, assaulted, and threatened over an alleged drug debt. Officers responded to a home on Wales Street just after 12:30 Saturday morning after a caller reported their cousin was being held hostage. Investigators say the 2 victims went to the home to buy drugs and were then held against their will during a dispute over money. 1 victim was assaulted and followed to another location in an attempt to get valuables to pay off the debt. When officers arrived to the home, 22-year-old Wilson Ventura Cruz ran from the porch and was arrested nearby. A loaded .40 caliber Glock handgun was found in the yard. Another loaded handgun was thrown from a window, and a second victim, bound with duct tape, ran out of the home to officers. 3 other suspects, Carlos de Jesus, Eliezer de Villa, and Rose Colon, later surrendered. Rochester police also recovered nearly 300 vials of suspected fentanyl and a bloody sword from the home. All 4 suspects face kidnapping, robbery, assault, weapons, and drug charges. De Jesus also faces a parole violation. A Rochester homeowner is picking up the pieces after an SUV crashed into his home over the weekend. Officers say just before 10 Saturday night, a car driving southbound lost control, careened through a fence, and struck the side of Jonathan Hammond's home. Hammond, who made the 911 call, says he checked on the occupants of the vehicle, but when he went inside to make the call, they ran off. He captured the moment on his Ring camera, and a man can be seen groaning as he makes his way down the sidewalk. The car has since been towed, but Hammond is now left with a large hole in his basement.
Hot mess. And I have like all this stuff from my mom down here and my brother, you know, so like a lot of stuff got damaged. And I have like a heat pump here, and I like destroyed that.
Hammond adds speeding is a constant problem on that street and is still working things out with his insurance company. Happening today, opening statements are scheduled for first thing this morning in yet another Marcy prison guard trial. Former correction officer Michael Fisher is charged with manslaughter in the death of Marcy inmate Robert Brooks. Prosecutors argue he watched the beating of Brooks and didn't do anything to stop it. A full jury of 12 people and 2 alternates have been selected, but it was a potential juror sent home that's getting curious attention. Among the jury pool was Matthew Gallagher, another one of the correction officers who'd been charged for the death of Robert Brooks. Gallagher was acquitted of murder and manslaughter charges in October. He was dismissed early in the process. The prosecution expects a quick trial.
Based on the theory that Mr. Fisher was intimately aware of the fact that Mr. Brooks was being beaten, and he stood there and did absolutely nothing. Judge Bauer has already ruled that the law of the case is that that is manslaughter. That constitutes manslaughter. That's what I intend to present to a jury.
Of the 3 guards tried at the same time, Gallagher and Nicholas Kiefer were acquitted. David Kingsley was convicted of murder. 6 other officers have taken plea agreements, some of which require prison time. All eyes are on Albany today as Governor Kathy Hochul will deliver her State of the State address. The governor is expected to lay out her priorities for 2026, some of which she's already been teasing in the days leading up to her speech. Among those topics are plans to expand child care access. Last week, Hochul announced a $4.5 billion planned investment in child care and pre-K programs across the state. Some of that money would be used to increase the reimbursement rates for child care providers, helping them retain staff. New York lawmakers sharing with us what they expect for the state of the state.
Trump just announced $3 billion in cuts. So we have a $1.7 billion proposal for the year. Meanwhile, Trump proposes a $3 billion cut to child care assistance. How we deal with that, right? So I'm looking forward to hearing how we're going to deal with that.
I'm sure she's going to continue to talk about mental health for kids, mental health as it relates to online, the cyber world that a lot of these poor kids now live in almost exclusively. And it's no wonder they have mental health issues when you think about what's on social media and the online world.
After the State of the State, Hochul will release her executive budget, which will give more details on how she wants to fund her priorities. Take a look at our roads with our sunrise traffic report. That view from our Greater Rock Sky Eye Cam, that volume slightly increasing since the last time we checked. No accidents of note at this time. 390, 490, 590, nice and clear. Now let's take a final check of the forecast with meteorologist Kayla Smith. What should people know?
It's not going to be too bad today. Pretty calm once again. Temperatures getting into the low 40s. A chance for a stray rain shower in the PM hours. A rain-snow mix, very light, very scattered on Wednesday, eventually leading to some snow showers on Thursday. Much colder temperatures. Your high temperatures are going to try to get to 20 degrees, but it's not even going to feel that way because of the wind chills.
Okay.
It's a cold one.
Yeah, and don't forget to check us out on Second Cup of Sunrise this morning at 9 a.m. Thank you so much for watching News 8 at Sunrise. CBS Mornings up next.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather. Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.